Alright, picking up where I left off before I was so rudely interrupted. Talking about this book, Deadpool. Yes. Now, Zenpool, his thing is that, he's a pacifist. He apparently makes himself a rock garden for some reason. And, well, he also was going after his friend Evan. Now, apparently, when he later, after the events of Access, when he gets returned back to normal, he brings Evan to the underground. This apparently was Evan ended up, apparently, at events of Access in Deadpool's beautiful wife's kingdom. And he's like, what's he doing here? That's El Salvador Apocalypse. And Deadpool like, no. This is Evan. He's not Apocalypse. Well, technically, he did turn into Apocalypse during the events of Access. Maybe he could explain to them, yeah, he's Apocalypse's clone, who just happens to look like him. Yep. Though the joke was when he first showed up in Wolverine the X-Men series, kids call him Kid Apocalypse because of his spitting image of the man. Now, I'm not all that surprised that Shaquille would be familiar with Apocalypse, given how infamous the man is. So, yeah, I think Gary Duggan basically reminding that because she's immortal and she's smoking hot. And then, of course, right after that, then for the last several issues before the 250 issue of the series, Deadpool starts having, let's say, a series of encounters with Omega Red. You're probably thinking, wait, at this point in time, Omega Red was dead. He got killed by Wolverine toward the end of the Wolverine Origins series. That technically is true, but this is not the original Omega Red who made his debut back in X-Men 2. Oh no, not that guy. His clone. Yes, a Rick Remender character. Yep. Thank you, Rick Remender, for creating this character. And he kind of acts like Omega Red, like no other. Oddly enough, not anything mentioned what happened to his sisters. The other two people part of the Omega clan. Yeah, what happened to Omega White and Omega Black? I think one of them got killed off toward the end of Rick Remender's run, but the other two, with the other one, I'm not really sure what happened to her. It's kind of weird. I think Omega Black was the female one, White was a male. White, I think, was killed. And Black, I'm not sure what happened to her. She just completely disappeared. She's one of those mini characters who Rick Remender created that Marvel simply just dropped for no explained reason at all. And Deadpool is not only finding him, but also getting these glass coffins, which are connected to his wife. And he's like, when he sees the glass, like, oh wait, this is the same thing I found my beautiful wife in. Yep, that happened in Deadpool the Gauntlet. That happened in Deadpool Dracula's Gauntlet. That's where that happened. That was a 7-issue miniseries that was released on. It was digital first. It was later re-released as a one-shot. Yep, I reviewed it. It's actually really good. And then, of course, he brings her there, and he's like, hey, you want to have sex atop a coffin? She's like, no. So they have sex beside the coffin. And she's like, yeah, he just simply enjoyed it. And she's like, yeah, I had a pretty good time. It seems like he enjoyed it a lot more than she did. And then she politely asks him to leave. He does. And then she wakes up people who are there, who apparently some of the people are their servants. Now, the thing is, one of the first guys she wakes up, she refers to her as Princess. He's like, I'm not Princess anymore, I'm Queen, due to the fact that Dracula killed my brothers. Yeah, Dracula's here too, and he apparently he got his hands on an old Spider Slayer robot. Like, how the heck got his hands on this thing? Is never explained, just somehow he did. Also, he's on oxygen now. Well, there's probably something Deadpool did to him. He's perfectly fine now. Don't worry about that. Yeah, when Deadpool found him in Spider-Man Deadpool and the crossover to Death Do Us Part, he apparently was in his underwear playing video games. Yeah. I don't know if it was Duggan right off the marriage. I mean, they're still technically married, even though he doesn't remember it. Yeah. But this overall is actually pretty... Oh, also, I gotta talk about 250. Yeah, this one has the apparent death of Deadpool because the Secret War is going on, so why not have a 250 issue for Deadpool, despite I think this is technically the 45th issue of this run, which makes this one even shorter than the last one. Shorter than the first volume by about 15 issues. Shorter than the second volume by about... Actually, that's 15. We're like 25? No, 24 issues shorter in the first volume. Third volume is actually 17 issues shorter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Gary Duggan did this in just 3 years. Yep, did all these comics in just 3 years, which got praise him for that. No, this is not my final thoughts on this run. I'm still not finishing this. Still a lot more issues to review for this run. I'm still not done with this run yet, apparently. I mean, I have reviewed the start. Now, the 250 issue is just a fun issue to read. And just basically have an issue where people are roasting Deadpool. This is Ultimate Wolverine where he became the Goblin Prince, which I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah, that was weird seeing Wolverine in the outfit of Madeline Pryor with sports. Yep. Oh yeah, and then we have like this last little bit in the classic like 70s style artwork where I thought this was so funny. Like, because look at this. I think it's done by Scott Kublish, where Deadpool is hanging out in Thanos' helicopter. Yeah, those may be curious, like, wait, why the heck does Thanos have a helicopter? Well, there is an explanation for this. In the 70s, he had this damn thing. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. When he popped up in a comic book, when he appeared on Earth, he has a helicopter. Also, get this, at one point in the 70s, he was arrested by police officers and brought to jail. Thanos, the alien conqueror, was arrested by the police. Wow, that's quite something, to say the least, yes. But these issues are awesome. Thoroughly enjoyable to read. Oh yeah, besides Scott Kublish being the artwork, there are several different artists on here. Okay, for issues 35-39, that's done by Mike Hawthorne with Marco Close, issue 39. 40 is Scott Kublish, who actually became the regular artist for the second volume for their regular Duggan's relaunch of this. You have 41-44 done by Steve Espin. 250 mainly done by Mike Hawthorne, but man, they threw in a boatload of different artists on here for writers and artists. For writers, for bonus stories for issue 250, aka 245, you have Mike Dirger, Ben Acker, and Ben Bleacher, Jason Marcus, Paul Sucher, Nick Giovanti, Matt Seaman, Salmon, Scott Ovich, Gary Duggan, obviously by Posehn. The artwork, J.J. Kirby, Natalie Margaret, Todd Norgrat, Todd Norch, Ty Templeton, Merrill Cloak, Jacob Cabot, who is also the artist, and Scott Kublish. Scoot Kublish. Yes. They don't mention who does the cover art here. Surprise. Oh. The cover art for the main issues for 35, 30, 37, 39 is done by Mark Brooks. 35 is done by... also Mark Brooks, all issue 41 42. Gustavo Macaulay and Arizona issue 43 44. 45 is... Scott Kublish. Which is this cover right here. Yeah. But this book is just pure fun to read. I give this book roughly a 10 out of 10. Just really good. Yep. And as of that, I have pretty much reviewed all the issues for Deadpool that came out in 2015. Yep, I officially reviewed all of it. How many issues are left to go to review for Gary Duggan's run for the book? I don't know. I have to calculate later because I have reviewed the first 2 trades this run. Now, the last Deadpool trade, that was from Daniel Way's run. That had nothing to do with this. Excuse me. Now I've reviewed the first 2 trades this volume and this one. I've also reviewed the trade that click all the flashback issues. So I would say I reviewed about 50% of this run. Yeah, that sounds about right. 50% of the run. I probably will get a chance to review more trades in the future, especially when it comes to this Friday with the start of the new year. So I should be able to get my hands on basically 2 more trades with Deadpool to get closer and closer to the finish of this volume and just put the volume behind me. That means all that's left for Deadpool is just the original volume and the second volume by Daniel Way. Yeah, that will come possibly in the future. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly it for this particular review. Stay tuned for our reviews for One Piece, My Hero Academia, Boruto, and that's probably it for today. Yep. See you next video. Bye.